I'm 18 years veteran, you can say now, in IT field, and I started my career with Infosys as software engineer, and then I worked for a couple of other MNCs like Tech Mahindra, Atos origin, and my initial half of the career, 6 to 7 years, uh, had spent in Europe, primarily in London and Amsterdam, and it was very enriching experience. And I will pick up few things from those experiences that might be useful to you when I will be talking about the uh, your transition from a student to a professional, and also in interview tips. And as far as education is concerned, so I've done my BE from MBM University, which was Government Engineering College in Rajasthan. Then I did my MS from BITS Pilani, and now again doing bachelor's BS with IIT Madras as well. So that was out of curiosity and out of learning the new field, and I really and being in technology field, and being it is predominantly a mathematical field, because statistic is major core base of the artificial intelligence. So I picked it up, and now 4 years are completed in this course as well. So that's really a good journey here as well. So that is my brief background. I'm married. My wife is very good homemaker, and I have two kids, a son and a daughter. You might have seen my daughter just moving around here and there out of curiosity. Okay, so that is brief about me. And the framework will be, first I will be taking you through the important concepts about innovation, improvements, the idea, and the how idea generates entrepreneurship. Then we will be touching base upon transitions from student to professionals, and those key aspects which will be helpful to every one of us throughout their journey. And few of you might already be knowing this, practicing this knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously, but I just wanted to bring those in front of you, because those are, you can say, are essence of my experience. And the things that I'm going to tell you today are not per se any theoretical in nature, and I follow a particular style of explaining things through practical examples, through personal experiences. So when I'm explaining you all those things, I will be bringing small stories along with these things, so that you may be able to relate it, and I will be able to create a context around the things. Otherwise, theoretically we all know what to do, because there are a lot of material available in internet, books, and all those things, so we don't need to go through that, but we need to capture the essence. And the last part will be about the interviews. I really conduct thorough interviews, even in the present times as well. These days I take interviews at senior levels, managers, senior managers, portfolio managers. Earlier I used to take interviews of engineers, senior engineers likewise. And one thing is sure, whenever I take any interview, the person who went out of my cabin, went out of my board, always go with something to improve upon, something to think about. I never let any person to just go away like that only, and I always give very brutal feedback to them, that what they need to do, where they are wrong, and what need to be done in order to be successful in those interviews which I conduct, because somebody has given me time and his thoughts around, and and explain his experience. So it's my duty as well to make him aware of what he's trying to attempt, how it can be achieved. I must show him the right path within my capacity and within my experience. So that will be the whole framework that we will be following. I hope it is clear. If there's anything that you want to ask right now, you can ask, and then probably then I will start. No questions? Okay. Okay. So as I was telling you that I first we will be talking about innovations, improvements, and how a simple idea can be can become an idea of entrepreneurship. Although the content of this slide probably might not giving you this hint that I am talking right now, but the beauty is this only, that how we can achieve things just by starting with a small thought and then building upon it and then reach to a something bigger that we might have never thought about. So to start with, I would just like to know you, to give you a context to create a weight around what I'm trying to speak, is that SLCM owns two patents on their name, and both came during my tenure. But of course, the work done for the patent predominantly was a brainchild of the CEO, group CEO of the company, Mr. Sandeep Sabharwal. But I was honored to participate during the hearings of the patent hearings and creating material and addressing those concerns and ensuring that we should get the patents. These patents are about commodity warehouse management. Those who are not aware about what is commodity warehouse management, just to give you a brief idea, that warehouses uh, to place the commodity in the crops. So we deals in more than 850 plus commodities across India and Myanmar, and we take pride in our SOPs, for which we also got the patent, first patent, that we can build a warehouse in less than 24 hours. And interestingly, we do not own an inch of land, all are rented. So you can easily imagine that managing warehouses on rented premises, some are open, some are closed, some are semi open, all different kind of warehouses are there, depending upon what kind of a crop need to be stored, at what location need to be stored. Managing all those with less than 0.1% of wastage is commendable job, and that's the basis of patent. The second patent that we got is for the quality management. Quality management in the sense, the quality of the crops. Quality of the crops is managed throughout the life cycle of crops residing within the warehouses. So these are the two patents that SLCM has got. Why I explain about you these two patents? Because the essence of these two patents is how we can ensure that there is minimum or ideally zero wastage of crops after harvest. So we call it post harvest wastages. You can easily understand that after growing the crops, the crops changes hands a lot of time, from farmer to probably a bigger farmer, from bigger farmer to a local mandi, from local mandi to maybe some central bazaar, from central bazaar to mills, mills to warehouses, from warehouse to again mills, mills to processors, from processors to the food, and then to the end, to the retailers, and retailers to the end users. So you can easily understand that if so many supply chain elements exist, and each element has its own efficiency to deal with the crops or the raw material, then wastages are inevitable. And as per the study of government of India study, there is at least, I am talking about at least 10% of wastages this is at least, but the numbers are really higher. It must be somewhere around 20-25%, right? So if at SLCM we are, and by the way, what I'm talking about is not our claim. This study has been done by the FICCI, a third party, Federation of Commerce in India. So there is less than 0.1 percentage of the wastage. So this is the idea, that I want to minimize the post harvest wastages. Okay. Now this is a very simple idea, but you can, now I have, what I have done is, if this is a simple idea, what are the things that I need to develop? Of course, there will be some operational part, there will be some finance part, there will be some logistic part, but let's focus only about the technology aspect, because it will be more relevant to my viewers and to my listeners. So you can understand that what tech now, whatever technology I have to bring here, whatever innovations I need to do here, whatever improvements I need to bring here, need to be scalable. What do I mean by scalable? Any innovation which can sustain with the increase in business. When I say increase in business, not only in terms of revenue, of course revenue is a function of number of warehouses, number of crops getting stored, number of transactions being happening, likewise. But scalability of this volume with data integrity, with 100% compliance to audits, and efficiently, this really need something different. And this something different is termed as innovations, but I really want to give you another term to my viewers, because I do not want to get them fascinated with the idea of innovation. I want them to get fascinated with the idea of the improvement. Because when this company started, they didn't start with all these innovations in their mind. They started with very humble background, and they started with a simple idea that they want to become a company who takes pride in managing a quality warehouse system, with the faith of bankers, with the faith of the poor farmers, and to the end users. So, simple idea. That idea needed something to work upon, keep on improving, and this improvement is maybe small incremental improvements, might be terms as very small innovations, which later on become bigger innovation, which we call as innovations. And those innovations must be scalable in order to sustain the competition, to sustain the need of the ecosystem, and of course it should be efficient, otherwise it cannot sustain. So the idea that I wanted to give here to my listeners is, any idea can be converted into innovation if applied incrementally and thought through and through, with respect to the demand of the end users, right? So the key statement here is, are you really looking towards the demand of the end users? And then, can you scale it? Can you make it more efficient? These two can be the drivers of the improvements, which will end up in innovations. So I will repeat it again. Start with an idea which keeps end user in mind, then asking question about the scalability and efficiency, which will give you some measures, some ideas about improvements, and continuous improvements will lead to the innovation. So this is the idea that I want to give it to you. What next, right? Each innovation or each improvement leads to again a question: what next? What I can do next? Again ask the same question: how I can scale it now, how I can make it better, how I can make it more efficient. Again there will be a cycle of improvement. So this is the idea that I want to give to my viewers. Now I have listed down the main innovative part of SLCM, and it's not to do an advertisement, but to give you a picture that how these innovation will is actually comprising the whole business to an extent. For example, my AgriReach app, which is a patented process warehouse management system, means it right from beginning, from the hiring the warehouse, doing the agreement with the client, to the commodity getting inwards, quality management, doing the outward of the quality. Outward means when the commodity or the crops go outside of the warehouse. All these things are managed through mobile app, supported by the back office at headquarters. Back office in the sense that it can also be done in the mobile application, but generally at the office desk and all those things, because heavy reports and those things also run. So we work on the laptops for the back office part. So this is the first part of this, and it is completely digitized, right through hiring of warehouse till its billing to the, or invoicing to the end customer at the month end. Digitally real-time warehouse surveillance, which is 24 by 7 cross 36 365 days. So now we are doing it, and we also take pride in it, that we are the first within the industry who gave this facility to our users, to our high valued bankers who have more AUM, asset under management, are stored within SLCM. We are doing it, and again, these are backed by very strong SOPs, e-locks, where there is a centralized e-lock system for high value warehouses, which are open through command center. So we have eliminated the local manager access to it, and we ensure and that when the locks are getting open, means when the warehouses are getting open and when they are getting closed. So we have a very close watch on the daily businesses. Now the interesting part, AI and machine learning based quality checking app, which was again developed within my tenure, but again the idea was of Mr. Sandeep Sabarwal, and we are really working something very innovative in this field, where just through your mobile app you can click the image of the crop, and it will provide you the quality report. So now how it is fitting well with the scalability and efficiency. Just to give you an idea, that in traditional sense, whenever any commodity gets inward, or if somebody wants to get its crop checked, sample is collected, sample get transferred to the nearest lab, then it get queued within the lab, then testing done, and then results are shared. Generally it takes 3 to 4 days in all those things, because logistics are involved, queuing is involved, and all those things. But through our mobile app, all these things are getting happen in, if not in seconds, but in not more than 2 minutes, everything is getting closed with respect to quality. So this is a very very fast mechanism. And by the way, what is the impact, or what is the efficiency that it brings to the business is, until you do the quality check and until the quality check gets passed, we cannot generate SR means storage receipt. And storage receipts are very important to the bank, because this is a collateral which is uh, placed within our warehouses on behalf of the bank. So if SR cannot be generated for the 3 days, because the 3 days or 4 days of the quality, because of the quality assessment, it means the interest of those 3 or 4 days we cannot charge. If we cannot charge, bank cannot charge, it means it's a loss to the bank. But now if quality is happening within minutes, it means we have saved the revenues for the 3 day revenue of 3 days. So you can easily imagine, if 15,000 tons of uh, collaterals are getting stored per year, let's say, or in any point in time, then revenue of 3 days is very high. So with this innovation, we are saving that much revenue. There are other tech enabled features that that are part of SLCM, like barcoded storage receipts, ERP based billing system, remote monitoring of cold storage, completely audits are completely digitized, uh, Then we have a digitally unified procurement platform. We have listing and agri trading platforms, which are under development to a large extent. And we are really doing something very good in AI/ML front with respect to this app is concerned, with respect to the text extraction um, of the language is concerned, because right now there are a lot of audit features which requires to read data from the receipts. Either those are we call it kata parchi in the sense that the weighing receipt. So from the weighing receipt, from the photograph capturing uh, the vehicle number, likewise. So we are doing a lot of these things through AIML. So again, coming back to the original intention of this slide, I wanted to. So okay, before I come to that, so now you can easily understand the whole management of the process. Then after getting crops into the warehouse, monitoring of those crops, then ensuring that the security of those warehouses through e-locks. Of course, the quality, which is a constant feature throughout the journey of the crops in the warehouse, that is also digitized with the AIML app. And right from the billing and other things, also these are tech enabled. So now, if I have this idea that I have to reduce the wastages, then not only the wastage in terms of the crop, but wastage with respect to time, with respect to handling, to bring accountability, to bring responsibility, to make my data transparent, all these things will add and contribute directly or indirectly to this goal of ensuring that there must be zero post harvest loss. So you can easily think that's a simple statement. I want to reduce or minimize or make the post harvest losses zero. Now what I need to do here, scalability, efficiency questions comes up here, implementation comes up. And if you do this cycle again and again and again, then you are doing nothing but you are building an organization and building an institution for yourself. You are becoming entrepreneur. Although it looks very easy when I am saying this thing, but the pain is in going through the cycle of innovations, to put your skin in the game, to take that risk, to have faith in your thinking process, to have completely commitment in your execution. Those are also personal aspects which leads to a successful entrepreneurship. But the basic to this is idea. And I want to give this idea to my young colleagues that that's how at least you can start. Probably you can find a better way to think about entrepreneurship, but this is one of the way I thought that I must bring in a kind of a capsule kind of a thing in front of you, so that those who find even very difficult to think about entrepreneurship and the first step, at least they can start from here. So that was the whole idea of covering this slide. I hope I made sense. And if it is okay, I can go to the next part. Probably this will relate more to the young generation and those people who are about to make transition from student to professionals. Shashwati, shall I go on or
Yes, sir. You can go on. We are here.
okay? Okay. So first of all, is it really? The question is it really important, or is it really making any sense to discuss about this topic? That right now I'm a student, and now if I have to become professional, then uh, I really need to think about this question, or is it a question in itself? Then I would like to bring few things into perspective. While being a student, or while being dependent on someone like parents or guardians, we have some kind of a freedom, some kind of liberty to not to think about few things. But once you enter into the premises of professionalism, then first of all, you are on your own. You cannot think like I am from this, that background, I have this, that kind of family. You are on your own. This is the first thing that everyone must understand. If no, and sooner or later, this is going to be a reality check where you will come to know that you are perfectly, completely responsible for your action. So that's why it becomes important to understand that if I am going to become sole responsible for my acts, then how I should act. What are the things that I should adopt in my behavior, in my thinking, in my mindset that can help me to become a better professional, to become successful, to fulfill my dreams, to achieve my potential. So, if you go through the bullet points, I haven't written anything which is of very common in nature. I have written those things which I have experienced myself. And I have experienced after, let's say, 15, 16 years, and you are getting it right now. So, I really take pride that I learned those things during my journey. And the first thing is the language. Why I have written this? Because this has been a constant word in my um, speaking, in my thought process, in my instructions, while even in my home. We do pay attention towards our language, what we are speaking, what kind of a language we are speaking, what kind of a language it belongs to. Why this is important? If you notice that after birth, first thing that we want from kid is that he or she should say something, let's say mama, papa, or you, or in another way we want to want that that kid start speaking the language, right? Because language is expression. Language is something which connects you with other people. The sense here about the language is little bit different. And the difference here is, although more or less it is very same thing, but the context is little different. Whenever we join any organization, it has its own language. For example, Infosys had the language of following the process, following the quality, being polite, being on time, being very gentleman. uh, Although few of these things have been changed now in these 18 years that I have heard of, but I'm talking from my experience. I can start with the name of anyone, like if even if it is a HR, he or she is a HR head, I can just name him. Like at my time it was Vandana Rao, so I can say Vandana ma'am, or hi Vandana, like this. So these are just a language of that organization. Tech Mahindra has different language, different kind of weightage towards following the process. Atos has had very different attitude or language towards design. So when I was in Amsterdam at Atos, there was lot of emphasis on design, how you are designing your code. So the actual coding takes uh, backseat, and first they used to talk about what is the design. So these are the languages. And because you can easily understand, when I right now I'm giving you examples of coding, because those were a very early part of my career. Then I joined some Indian companies, Indian conglomerate groups. Then they had a different language, they have a different style of doing business. So wherever you go, you just ask this question: what is the language here? Once you start asking this question, it will help you to get used to, or you can say get navigate you within that organization, instead of getting stagnant, instead of getting shocked, instead of getting into the you can say, mm, politics will be the wrong word, but instead of getting into the, you can say, roller coaster of cribbing and just giving comments, gossiping, and all those things. So you have to just understand what is the language here, what kind of a language people speak here, what are the things that they value here, what kind of things which are important to people here, to their for their business. Once you have this thing in your mind, it will create a gap between who you really are, what this company or what this culture of organization demands. It will help you to navigate without changing yourself, and definitely changes which suits and which resonates with you more will become integral part of your life as well. So that will be a more of like a happy adoption as well as happy navigation. So always start with this thing, that what is the language. So that will help you to become a very good professional and to survive in any kind of environment. Then interpersonal skills. um, just to give you a small thing about from my experience is that in very during the very early and middle part of my career, I used to think about myself as that I will not be a very good manager because I am very bad in people management. That's kind of a self assessment I had been making about myself. But I was fortunate enough that I got to work with managers, and especially Vishal Nigam in Tech Mahindra, who was so friendly, so yet so professional, and so punctual in his work, and so brotherly figure in during the challenging time, that uh, it had a very lasting impact on my way of dealing with people, and it became my signature also. So even today, being IT head, I used to talk even to let's say any executive level support level personnel as well, those who have just started their career. And the environment that uh, it creates is that first people comes and disbelieve that a person of that much of higher rank is uh, dealing with us very frankly, very objectively, very transparently, and very clearly what he wants, what he does not want, and giving freedom for our work. So that kind of interpersonal skills that I have adopted from him helped me a lot, because at the end you have to understand that you are not alone, you have to work with teams. So this is one of the skill, and I don't know how people learn about it, I'm not expert in that, but I gave you just one example that that manager influenced me, and that's how I adopted that in my behavior, and that became my signature as well. But the thing that I want to convey here is that you cannot get away with the interpersonal skills if you want to be successful. So you have to find something or the other thing that work for you as an individual to become interpersonal. Definitely if you start with the first question, the language, then definitely it will help you to find what works well with you. The third point is hungry for learning, listening, and feedback. Listening is another kind of taking feedback. Feedback in itself, whoever in your life comes up with any complaint, any tone of voice, anything, first take it as a feedback. And I'm telling you, you are going to improve. And you will be the person to whom people will give respect, not because of your skill set, not because of your position, but because of your behavior. Just love taking feedbacks. In fact, I would say, rather than people coming and giving you feedback, you ask for the feedback. And if when they are giving feedback, just try to listen, and that's the way to learn it. Learn from other people. And I'm telling you, this third principle that I'm talking about will help you in improving your interpersonal skills as well. So if you have any hesitation, if there is any um, you can say shortcomings in your interpersonal skills, just start with taking feedback. I want to take feedback. And do not react, just listen. The fourth point, responsibility, uh, I can say in just one sentence: how good programmer you can be, however be a good programmer you be, however be a problem solver you be, but if you do not take responsibility, in the long run you will not be the part of the A team in the sense team who is demanded in any crisis or for any important job. If you are taking responsibilities, then in a shorter run it may seems like that you are getting overburdened, but in the longer run it will develop your skills, it will make you stronger, it will make you desirable, it will make you thriving in any situation. The fourth point, where I can find you, in the sense that can I do I always find you in the party, do I always find you in the cafeteria, do I always find you in the problems, do I find you always challenging the problems? So just ask this question: where do you generally get fined by other people? Are you always getting fined in the in cribbing, in gossiping, in making critiques, or in finding solutions, trying to learn new things? Just ask this question to you, maybe in every 3 hours, every 4 hours, and it will give you a very good reality check. This is just like taking feedback from yourself. The last but not the least and the most important part is the business. When, even in how in home, we generally do not, we generally create this kind of a demarcation: look, this is professional means outside, look, this is inside means we are at home, we are at a family. But at the end, family is also a business in the sense that you have to achieve something, you have to do something, you have to get something done, you have to contribute, you have to bring value to the system of your home, to your business. Never ever forget the need of the business. The thing that I started in the beginning, that always start with the what user wants, what is the end user problem is, what is the end user challenge is. Whatever you do, just ask what kind of a business we are achieving with this. Even I can say, even if you are writing a single line of code, just ask this thing: how it is helping the business. Through memory management, you are helping the business by taking less memory. By increasing the efficiency, you are ensuring that the business get done in reduced time, it means time for more business. If you are making your code in such a way that it become anti-fragile, it means you are reducing the downtime, it means you are helping the business. So that's how you should start thinking about your code. That's how you should start thinking about your even any single act. if you're if you just start thinking in this way, you are slowly and gradually getting a professional who gets demanded left, right, center. If you may allow me, then I want to say this thing in Hindi that सब लोग कहेंगे कि मुझे ये चाहिए, ये इंसान चाहिए, अपनी टीम में चाहिए. Why? Because you know the business, you are aware where you belongs to, you takes responsibility, it means people have trust in you, you take feedback, it means you are always improving, you are always giving very good gesture, you are always creating a very good environment, it means your interpersonal skills are getting developed, it means you are developing a language of your own and changing the language of the organization, department, of your friend circle by following these things. So I have just given you a bottom up integration of all these things. So I'm done with this slide. And the last part about the interviews, probably I believe that this will be the most sought after, or the interesting, or the need of the hour kind of a thing that you would like to hear. So you can easily see that I'm not going to talk about understand the interview structure, research the company, plan logistical details, etc., etc., because these are the things that you need to plan, that are common sense, right? But here I am not talking about the plan, I am talking about the preparation. There's a difference between a plan and a preparation, and this is a very important concept. Plan is something that you are saying I will take these steps, but preparation is something which says when nothing works, your preparation will work. I am repeating it. When nothing works, your preparation will work. So if I'm saying this, what does it mean? It means that you are preparing yourself in such a way that even if you had the worst interview, even if you get strangled, or even if you get puzzled in the interview, you have your preparation is such that you able to navigate it gracefully, authentically, and I call it a navigation tree. And generally it starts with this question, that what are the things that I want my interview to be focused upon. And then I make a chart. I will start with this, like, tell me about yourself. Then I will bring these points, so that if any question get put up from this thing, it will have that kind of a sub question. From that sub question, these are the questions that I am planning. So that's how I used to create a navigation tree. And once this navigation tree is get created, I revise this navigation tree, I refine this navigation tree. And in the actual interview, I just look for a thread that connects the interview next interview process to align with my navigation tree. So that will keep you in the hunt. Okay, so that is just kind of a mental framework that I am telling you, that that's how you can prepare yourself. What are whites? Means if there are whites, then there are the blacks as well. So before I talk about the second point, I want to give a small anecdote of mine, of my worst interview. I was giving interview for the senior program manager at Qualtech, and I was seated in front of CEO of that company, Mr. Manish Kankani. He's IIT Kanpur alumnus, and my interview went, means after having three earlier rounds, I was confident that okay, now this will be a formality, and then I will be able to crack it. But that interview was the worst interview I had ever given. You know why? Because the questions that Mr. Kankani asked me, all were so relevant yet so deep. Means he was asking about the numbers about my project, he was asking about the business that my project manages. He asked so much technical stuffs about, like, what is the most difficult thing that I have done. When I was talking about the most difficult thing, he was saying it was very easy, yaar, ye to aisa ho sakta hai, it can be done by like this. So it was just like that somebody is putting sword inside me, and even not bothered to take it out, and just keeping that sword inside me. And after giving the interview, I was just having lunch, and I was just going out, considering myself as that okay, I will not be getting selected. And when I was just about to leave the premises, then HR called me, where are you going? I said home. He said why? I said because I will not be getting selected. Then HR said you have been selected. I was very surprised. Yeah, what happened? And later on, when I joined the company and when I had the first meeting with the CEO, he said, the only thing that I liked about you was that the questions that I asked you, you replied in a very honest manner, and there was some structure behind it. You were not just talking in air or something out of nowhere. So that's why the navigation tree comes into picture. If you have some structure in your mind, you will always keep such interviews on track, because you have prepared in that sense, that which question is linked to which question, and then you have planned that question in terms of numbers, in terms of justification, in terms of theoretical knowledge, and likewise. So that was the story. Then what are whites? If there are whites, then what are the blacks? uh, what I mean by saying this thing is, generally I ask in my interviews to the candidates, generally the engineering candidates, which was your favorite subject? So generally, like, for if somebody is from mechanical engineer, he will say that IC, internal combustion engine, or somebody will say thermodynamics. If somebody is from electrodynamics, sorry, from electronics, he will say, let's say, digital electronics or semiconductor physics, whatever. Or from computer science, somebody will say algorithms. Somebody will say software engineering principles likewise. Then the next question generally I ask is, which book did you read? And believe me, I find people fumbling in answering that. They even don't know which book did they read during their engineering. So when I say what are the whites, it means there must be few things in your preparation, in your navigation tree, which are perfectly white. You know in and out about it, with respect to your position, with respect to your scope of interview. You know everything. If you are saying this is my favorite subject, then it looks like that yes, it's your favorite subject. Let's suppose if you are saying about that algorithms is your favorite subject, then you know most about the algorithms, how they work, what are their complexity levels, how it is being solved, what are its practical implication, how to apply it through Python, how to apply it through C++, whatever. Then you know in and out about it, right? So there must be couple of things, if not much, at least couple of things, at least one subject that you can say if you are a very beginner in your journey toward professionalism, that at least one subject should be in and out be yours. I'm telling you why I'm telling you this, because probably you get selected even with some mediocre performance in the interview, but this kind of preparation may lead you in Google, Microsoft, or some such companies, because then you know your, at least you know one subject very well, and slowly it will start shaping your career as well, your likings as well, your choices as well, your decisions as well. That's that's why. After these two things, the last point that I would like to tell you is that you must, for the subject or for the position for which you are applying, you must know the problems of that domain, of that field, of that area. At least you have some broad structures known, that what are the broad structures of those problems, what are the different classes of problems, what are its real applications, what are the real how it's really hurting it. So if you make yourself aware not only with the solution but about the problems, and let's suppose you got a chance, you get a thread to talk about those problems during your interview, I'm telling you, you will be getting selected, because people like to hire those people who talk about their problems and show interest and some competence in getting it solved. So rather than just mugging up solution, also know about the broad structures of the problems of that area. What are the problems? So if you are following probably these three things or these approaches, it will definitely help you during your interview. And I will end up my session with again one of my experience, my first experience. I gave my first interview with Infosys, and I was selected. And I gave reason of getting me selected out of 800 people. Out of 800 people, I think 12 or 13 people were selected. So I was one of them out of those 800. So I think one answer that got me selected was, the lady interviewer asked me, you mentioned in your resume that you play squash. I said yes. Then she said, what is the difficult part in that squash? And I was really not prepared for this kind of question, but somehow of my personal experience, because squash is a very stamina demanding game. Even if you play it alone now, then it requires lot of stamina. Then I said that apart from other thing, it's playing squash is like compete against yourself. And I think this was the answer that landed up myself in Infosys. So why I'm telling you this is because whatever you are doing in your daily life, daily business, daily operations, everything has something to teach you. So just think, just give some small time in meditating about those things, try to learn from there, and you never know where it's going to help you. So that's it. That's all from my end. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Definitely a very insightful session. And I personally appreciate the unique approach you took towards introducing all our students towards how to approach the technical rounds interviews and how to view the professional life that they are heading towards. So yeah, definitely a very insightful and appreciated talk. And do we have any questions from our students? If any questions, please feel free to text it in the chat box. In the meantime, sir, I would like to ask a question
Mhm.
regarding the agri-tech industry that you have been working in currently. So, since we know it is a common knowledge that uh, farming practices that are being used currently are not very sustainable, and sustainability is becoming one of our common focuses or main focuses day by day in almost all industries because of the condition our world is heading into. So, how do you think agri-tech or agricultural technology can help us in more sustainable farming practices?
So let me give you a counter intuition of your question. Had not the current practices been sustainable, we could not have survived so long. So it means that the current practices are sustainable, right? Because even if farmer is just using its very simplest simple machine, we call it in physics, of pulley and all those things, then it works, right? But again, it comes to the question scalability and efficiency. So I would like to change slightly your question towards sustainable to the competition, right? Although it's sustainable, but sustainable to the competition. What do I mean with this is, even the current farmer with current practices, if he or she wants to earn more, wants to grow more, how he or she can do it. And uh, let me give you some examples, that right from the soil testing with AI/ML based approaches, during the time of growing, during that it can give you, it will with the growth of the plant, it can let you know through IoT that which area of the field needs more water, more sunlight, more fertilizers, which part of the field needs pesticide or some other kind of medication if there are some pesticides into it. Those can be monitored from satellites as well. The data of weather help you to grow relevant crops. Then by adopting the post harvest methods which can reduce the wastages just that I talked about, all these things are making things more efficient and making it more more efficient and more sustainable, more scalable. So definitely it is happening. So IoT is one of it, AI/ML is another of it, and logistics, the fast logistics and all these things are helping it. So this is one part of it. Another part is warehousing. So I talked about the warehousing part. Then another part is about processing and making it available to the end user. So those are already been improving with the better equipped storage locations, logistics, roads, and less wastages. And even you can track your trucks real time. So all these things are making it more efficient. And one important thing, yes, one more important thing, which is also in the agenda of government of India, is about the pricing. If somebody has to earn more, not only he has to grow, but he has to get the right price. So here the quality app comes into the picture. Not only the quality app, but how you can ensure that a poor, or you can say uneducated, or you can say less educated farmer benchmark its quality and gets the price decided by the market, not by any say it or any big merchant, but by through the market based on the quality benchmarking. That okay, if it's a grade A quality, grade A1 quality, grade B quality, so it should be priced so and so according to the market, that local market. Then you are ensuring the transparency as well as right price to the to its owner. Okay, so this is this we call it as a very fascinating, what is there, price discovery. So this price discovery which happens, and in fact through the ecosystem getting merged into retail platforms, then even a farmer or even a crop owner can think about not only selling its crop to the local market, but to a market where it's getting the good price after having margins, after getting digital logistics and other things. So all these things getting contributing towards the sustainability and good competition efficiency and scalability. I
Okay.
hope I made sense.
Yes, yes, you made sense. And one of our students has asked a question asking the app that you are talking about, the AIML app which you are talking about, if the samples are getting corrupted or come with good quality, but the products are not good, how are you going to deal with it?
So come again with the question.
So, the AIML app which you were talking about,
Hmm?
so in that app, if the samples are shown as good quality, but the actual product comes as
Okay.
a not so good quality, so how are we going to deal with it?
So here, that's again a very good question, because at the end, the sampling techniques become the crux of getting to the right conclusion. So it is like this, that I wanted to purchase a quality grade A. I have been shown the quality grade A, but being sold the B thing. So here comes the fidelity comes into the picture. So here there are a couple of things that we can do, is that we not only take one sample, we take 10 samples first of all. This is the real time. Another thing is, whatever samples we take, we send it to the lab as well. So at the end, you can also do the reconfirmation that whatever the grade we gave at the time of instantaneously is actually of that quality or not. But again, when it is coming to the lab, it's just that we are getting the samples. But again, you can ask the same question, that what if the right sample have not been sent to you? The answer to it with respect to technology is blockchain. You can do it by that way, so that it cannot be tampered, right? But blockchain is currently very very costly, so it has not been able to scale so much for these things. But technology solution per se, blockchain is the answer for it, if you ask me, so that the samples cannot be tampered, and samples can be ensured that these are from the same population. Because once you create a population of uh, x crop with respect and identifying each into some packets, and then the packet is coming out of that population belonging and which have a blockchain integration, then definitely you can say that I am checking the right product. So actually his question is, even though my app is working fine, but how I'm ensuring that it's the right product? So right now the answer is blockchain, but right now we are not doing that.
Okay. I hope that answered Mridul's question. And yeah, we have reached the end of our session today. Thank you so much, sir, again for this
Okay.
wonderful and insightful session. Definitely, I hope all our students have also benefited from it.
So
And
I really
thank you
like
for
to take
attending.
feedback from people, like how they find it, what are the things that they think that should be improved. So it's really been helpful to me. I don't know if you can give it directly right now, it will be also okay for me, and if it is coming later on, I'm also okay with that.
I think we will be able to reach out to you with the feedback later on.
Okay. Okay.
So, yes, I will be reaching out to you. And yes, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.